Good afternoon. Before I start, may I ask who has not participated in education-focused event here in the room? Has not. Some of you, okay. No worries. Welcome. Well, my name is Patricia Carvajal. As I was introduced, I'm a scientific training officer for ECCB. Let me tell you something. Little story. So many years ago, when I was in undergrad, I went into electrical engineering thinking, well, I don't want to deal with people. But some years later, then I changed a bit. I changed fields from electrical engineering to bioinformatics and said, well, I only have to deal with data and algorithms. Eventually, I get to PhD and I do research on algorithms. But somewhere within that time, I do fall in love with empowering others to build their bioinformatics capacities. And not so long ago, I went full supporting services in science, and guess what? I do interact with a lot of people. So that's how I became a part of the training team. This is my lovely team. We're led by Kat and also Kim and Aziz, who are here in the room as well, along with he could not be here, but Marta was also part of this team, although she has moved on to other ventures. And I've been a scientific training officer for a bit more than 4 years, and before that, I was a Cabana Secondi. And when I got this invitation, first of all, thank you very much for allowing me to come and speak to the audience. And I was reflecting, well, what do I know about the education community? And I was okay. Let's see, as a newcomer, how everything happened. So I at first back almost when I finished my PhD, I went to a conference from an amazing project called the Cabana Project. Unfortunately, it had finished already. It is running right now a second edition, but I believe that's about to end as well. But they had secondments, and part of my secondment was about building train-the-trainer type of materials for undergraduate programs. And so through that project, I then got introduced to the ISCB and Elixir. And within the ISCB, sorry, it was focused on work that the education community was doing. And through the education community, then I got to know that I got to notice that there's an association called Goblet. And because then I got involved in participating, actually co-leading one of the sessions for the second education summit. Then I noticed, okay, so there's this cool association for Africa, and there's also this one for Asia, and then there's a student council, and by then I started working with the Bioinfo Core people, and later there was another iteration of the summit, and there were countless other associations, and no. Let's take another approach. So, looking back in doing a quick search online, since when we are the education community is a community by itself? Well, I don't know exactly because I didn't find the data, but well, I could see that the education COSI at least was established in 2014, and I could see that the first meeting of the education COSI was back in 2018. But before that, and many years before that, there was the workshop on education on bioinformatics, which it's tomorrow, by the way. You need to go. Yes, but also there was through the education community, there have been other associations that have been that were generated. Goblet, one of them. Then there have been other initiatives that have started. For instance, back in 2019, there was it was called Bioinformatics Education Summit. Now it's called Global Bioinformatics Education Summit, but it's been running since 2019. And well, it was amazing to see the strength of this community and the length of time that this community has worked as a whole. And I really would like to know more. So I'm sure that the collective knowledge here would fill out a lot more this slide, but at least that's what I found. And I saw that one of the strengths, or one of the many strengths of this community is reaching out, is collaborating with communities and doing things together with other outside of education. So on that term, I want to talk to you about two projects that we've done with other communities of practice, and will hopefully illustrate on the strengths on what we can achieve. We still achieve, or we still can achieve as a community. And that, yes, there were a lot of things in the past, but there are a lot of things in the future as well. So the first one, it's, well, there's a tool, the bioinformatics competency framework, which it's currently it's under the third release. It was published back in 2021. It was made available in the hub, and last year it was the paper came out. However, this framework compiles or has different, or describes different professional profiles, and core facility scientist is one of them. So we approached the bioinfo core community and other of the causes of this of the ISMB, and together we analyzed the current version of the framework, and extended it so it could reflect career progression. As right now, version 3 only has a single profile for each of them, for a core facility scientist. Sorry. Well, as you can see, there are plenty of individuals and organizations that have worked on this, and this is without counting the 53 plus answers that we got in the survey. So there's more than I show you here that have participated. So thank you very much for everybody who got involved. And okay, let's talk a bit about it. The people who, I hope, okay, the framework, it's a tool for bioinformatics educators, to develop courses and curricula, but it's also for students and professionals to assess their competencies and decide on their own professional development. It provides a minimum information standard defining the competencies that they will require and at what level they will require them. So currently, the bioinformatics core facility scientists have a single profile in version 3. And as you can see, with one single profile, it can only partially describe the competencies that these professionals require. And also it does not capture how these competencies or the proficiency level that they would need would change as they progress in their careers. So together we form this task force, Bioinformatics Core Facility Scientist Competencies Task Force. I haven't memorized it, but that's their official name. So the aim was to develop guidelines that the community could use as a resource to define career stages. And so they could also advance in their professional career progression. It took us more than 2 years, to be honest, many meetings and offline hours of work. But we finally have been able to almost come to a conclusion. And we agreed, the group agreed that we needed to extend or to include 4 career profiles. We to reflect career progression from an entry level to a more advanced, and also include a managerial level. We identified 6 competencies that needed to be included, so the work that a core facility scientist does can be reflected. We suggested knowledge, skills, and attitudes, and also we through open call to this community of practice, we asked them to identify the proficiency level that each of the profiles would need in each of the competencies. So we are on the final stage of reporting. The preprint is available. If you follow the link in that QR code, you can access the preprint in Zenodo. And we are almost complete with the paper. It is in its final revisions. So just to mention, okay, so because there are different ways of naming exactly the different thing, the same thing, we agreed that we will name these profiles core facility bioinformatics core facility scientist 1 to 3 in a managerial role. And the competencies that were added were manage projects, manage team members, identify and support users' needs, engage with collaborators, provide training in bioinformatics, and lead the bioinformatics core facility. So this structure provides the bioinformatics core facility professionals to support them on organizing staff at their core facilities, support their professional development, and also something that is crucial for this community, to give them visibility for their roles. So this is I came with a surprise for the core facility. I was just giving this talk to the core facility bioinfo core community right now. That was 5 minutes. That was crazy. But the surprise was okay. What comes next? Because we had not talked much about it. So, the Global Bioinformatics Education Summit, which I'm going to talk about next, it happened on May. The latest iteration happened in May, Mexico City, and we asked the participants if they could provide us their input. So. We asked them how often should these competencies be maintained. The consensus was that they should be maintained revised about every single year, which is going to be quite difficult given that it took 2 years and something more to actually come up with the first extension. Or the updates should be based on actual changes in the field. And they even suggested some sort of AI-driven monitoring so we could detect the need of going back and analyzing or reanalyzing the framework for core facility scientists. We asked also what other professionals should be working on extending their profiles, and the general consensus was that we needed to work on roles related to AI and data or computational and analyst, research support and infrastructure, not only core facility scientists. And they also mentioned science communication and outreach, which I believe right now is not included. And we asked how, now that the Bioinfo core community has this invaluable experience of know, they do know how to get there now. How can they support now the other communities? So they mentioned that they would be great if they could share their experience, so we could adapt our own profiles to and extend our own profiles, and also enhance training and evaluation. So this is the framework. This is the work that we did together with a community of core facility scientists. And as you can see, it took us a bit more than 2 years, but we got there. This was all done in a voluntary basis. And we established a very good relationship with the education community in the Bioinfo core group. So that takes me to another project that also takes a lot of collaboration. It's not two specific groups, it's many different groups. And as the host of the Global Bioinformatics Education Summit changes every year, it takes groups from many places. So for this one, first, as I like doing, I'm going to acknowledge the amazing help that we got from Michelle and Russell. Thank you so much for being so patient and for helping us, guiding us. Nia and Jason, you were also a really amazing guide on how to run the summit. And the local and foreign organizers and volunteers, the ISMB Student Council, Red Mexicana de Bioinformática, at the ISMB Education Group for supporting travel for participants, and all our enthusiastic delegates that went there to contribute to the different projects that we worked on. Sorry. So I see that some people have not participated in education-related projects. So let me tell you a bit more about the summit. It aims to bring together bioinformatics trainers and educators to drive the development of standard and guidelines for bioinformatics training and education in a global scale. It is not a research or scientific conference. It is a working meeting where all participants contribute with their experience and their active involvement. However, I do have a surprising twist on this one. And and the work, it's not limited to that event. We continue work on a monthly basis, or depending on the working group, how they determine to work. Having a look back, the first Global Bioinformatics Education Summit was in Cape Town. It was in person. Then we had to change to online, and we were hosted by EBI in the UK. Then the next one was hosted by Cabana, Goblet, EBI, representing Latin America and the UK and everybody globally. And the next one was the Asia Pacific. Then we went back to the UK. In Welcome Connecting Sciences, when we went back in a hybrid mode. And then we came we went to the US. Jason welcomed us at the Welcome Genome Center. no, sorry, New York Genome Center. Apologies. And the latest iteration in Mexico City, where we were received by the Tecnológico de Monterrey from 2 different schools. Welcome the event. So, as I was telling, it was in Mexico City. The site was Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Ciudad de México. It's a bit confusing. Monterrey is a specific city within Mexico, but it's called Tecnológico de Monterrey, and now they're all over Mexico, so it's weird. So our hosts were the School of Engineering Sciences and the School of Medicine and Health Sciences. And an associated host was Instituto Nacional de Medicina Genómica, which we also made a big field visit there. And the people the PIs who took the challenge from the local as locals were Laura González, Jalvio Valderas, Osvaldo Reséndiz, Jorge Chedraui, Arturo González. And we also had in the organizing team Ana Castillo and yours truly, Patricia Carvajal. It was a virtual format, and it was of new and returning attendees. For that, I'm going to acknowledge all the institutes and schools that provided us with their blessing for organizing this event. So, because it takes a lot of time, basically. And this on the top is the organizing team. A nice group photo that we had in the field visit that we had to the Instituto Nacional de Medicina Genómica. And I really would like to somebody from the local team it would be so nice to somehow enable, if we had some sort of way that we could enable somebody from the local organizers to come to the ISCB, it would be so beneficial. So that's what I was figuring out. It's like, why is Jalvi or Laura or Osvaldo or Jorge or somebody from the organizing? They should be here. They maybe we need to talk a bit more about it and make it happen. But okay, let's continue. So in numbers, we have 112 registrations, 35 in person. The maximum number of attendees across the 5 days was between 80 and 90. I'm saying between because for one day in specific, we had participants that didn't require a registration. And virtual, it was 50 participants, and this from about 20 different countries. So the challenges for this is that we decided to add 2 working days. So it was a total of 5 days. And this allowed for extending the discussions that we needed to have on different topics, and to include sessions that were relevant to the host country. So for this year, we had the involvement of the ISCB Student Council in different things. For instance, promotion, event organization, social media, and leading special sessions, which were the sessions that were open to students on day 3. And we had the field visit to Inmegen, and we had a very inspiring keynote talk by Senior PI Antonio Lascano. We need to invite him. So the distribution of topics was day 1 and 2 were mainly continuing on legacy projects such as the competencies or curriculum in life sciences or train the trainer, AI and upcoming trends in bioinformatics. For day 3, we went all all new topics, such as communication of science and the importance of student associations in bioinformatics training. For day 4, we went with idea empowerment, idea principles, plus national challenges. It was the afternoon was focused on national challenges faced in Mexico. We had a panel discussion, and then we went for the field visit. And day 5 was sharing knowledge and leveraging global connections. I'm gonna, I don't have that much time, so I'm just gonna talk a bit about 2 of the days, which were mainly used to cover new topics. But for this one, if I may, I will ask Anna to talk about day 3, because she was one of the main organizers of this day. So, yeah, please.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Patty, for giving me this slide. So basically, there was a notion that it was super important to involve the students in this type of activities, so this type of exercises, because basically they were like working sessions with senior people and so some entrepreneurs or people with more experience. So we thought it was important to hear the voices of students. So when it was time to introduce them into these activities, we opened the call for some selected students interested. But for day 3, we opened the doors to everyone, and there were many students coming from the surrounding academic institutions in Mexico City, mainly the host institution and another one, UNAM, which is one of the most important universities in Mexico. And we try to provide like a whole range of exercises based on communication and social media engagement, like for them to have like this type of training, and also try to give them like an overview of all the platforms that are available for students to of course to show all the community that are like fighting for improve the accessibility of education. And what was the thing that was very striking is that when this day ended, all the students came to us, and we were shocked because they told us that they didn't know anything about it, and it was the first time hearing about like they didn't know about the IECB, the Education Committee, Goblet, many bioinformatics.ca, and they say we are shocked. It's like we were like in Mexico they say like we are with the square eyes. Yeah, and because it was so for them it was so new. So as a community, I think we need to find a better strategies. I think there is something that we are not doing quite all right in terms like we need like to make or improve the visibility of our work to reach to more students. So yeah, basically that was how day 3 worked, and we were very happy that many students came to us, and now they want to get more involved in this type of initiatives. And yeah, that's the day 3.
All right. The other day that was a, a completely new topic was day 5, which was bioinformatics training at different scales, which was based on sharing knowledge and leveraging global connections. This was brilliantly led by Katarina Hale, Lisana Paladin, Rolanda Julius, but there were other people from other regions in the world that got involved in organizing this day. So it was aimed at enhancing coordination of capacity building initiatives in bioinformatics training and exploring opportunities for cross-regional collaboration. As one of the main outputs was these community cards that feature different training initiatives at a global, national, or international scales, and they are going to be made available They are deciding on how exactly they're going to proceed and how they're going to continue work on this work that they started at the summit. So I'm going to talk to you a bit about the host country, which is Mexico, and hopefully it illustrates a bit on the importance to keep reaching out and to keep going places. So, bioinformatics in Mexico is still an emerging science. It is, yes, it exists, but it is still growing and it needs consolidation. There is a very limited amount of academic programs, either undergrad or master's or PhD, that delve into what is called genomic science, because they wouldn't allow us to name it bioinformatics for whatever governmental reasons. So you're not going to find a PhD in bioinformatics or an undergrad in bioinformatics in Mexico. They're gonna be called genomic sciences. So this whole situation makes governmental and financial support very limited. Mexico has two main professional societies for bioinformatics, Nodo Nacional de Bioinformática, and the biggest one, Red Mexicana de Bioinformática, which has about 1,000 members. And both are mainly aimed at delivering training, not on events focused on best practices or standardization initiatives. For instance, competency frameworks or program accreditation or endorsement. So most of the global standards and best practices are not known or followed outside of the big academic centers in Mexico, which are two, mainly UNAM and Politécnico Nacional. And as regulatory frameworks and standards are needed in the country, the summit illustrated the importance, and it also gave several pathways to follow for reaching their implementation in Mexico. So no events of the summit's nature had been hosted by the or organized by the country. So the event was an eye-opener, and it raised awareness of the necessity to build and strengthen capacities and infrastructure. It not only built capacities in terms of the different projects that were worked on, but also on how to organize this type of event. So Mexico also, if I may mention, Mexico has an extensive territory. It is mega rich in biodiversity, has a lot of food production, and a very large population. So consequently, there is an immense need for professionals in life sciences, including bioinformatics. However, in terms of industry, industry in Mexico is mainly focused on production, not research and development. So this makes industry not so interested in incentivizing the generation of bioinformatics capacities. And well, about this summit, it was challenging, but it also gave a lot of opportunities. There are basic resources that are available, like the structure that the community has provided, like the drive that Goblet, where hosts all the files. There are still resources that need to be figured out. For instance, 2 minutes. Thank you. Web hosting and registration, a formal registration platform. His sponsorship and financing constraints made this event really, really, really difficult. It posed major limitations. Of course, like with all of us, we are very limited on time. And each of the individuals that are involved are very limited on time. So it made that very, very challenging. And it was we did sense there was a sense that we need more systemic support for the future organizing teams on terms of logistic and guidance. So yeah, we asked where should we go next. There was a general consensus that we should go to Asia. So because it hasn't been hosted in person there. So other suggestions were Europe and Latin America. And there was a point, a very pinpointed suggestion for Vilnius, Lithuania, but and there was also that this person mentioned the university, but not a contact or somebody that we could reach out to. So, so if you know, if you're interested, or if you want to nominate someone, you want to give us your suggestions, please use this email address and let us know where do you think we should go next. Some basically what the topics that they've suggested that we should delve into for the following summit are mostly continuing because we've all worked on them, on global connections, sustainable development, collaboration projects, um, industry government engagement, career development, and so on. And also, I'm gonna finish here by letting you, well, most of you know, but there is a monthly call. Is it monthly or we change to bi-monthly? Bi-monthly, sorry. A bi-monthly meeting to continue working on each of the initiatives. So if you're interested, please shoot us an email. I mean, I don't read this email, but Nikki does. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. And it's been nice to see you here. And yeah, let us know your questions. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Patricia. It's about time, but I think we have time for one question in the room, maybe. Remark.
That was amazing. Great job, all of you who participated. I'm curious why not, if, sorry, let me rephrase. I'm curious if the need in Mexico for something like this is there. Did you guys come across students or people who might be able to take, like, branch out and then have an annual summit in Mexico with, you know, their own resources, with some help from organizationally from ISCB? And I don't know if that was something you guys have thought of, but if I feel like once you do it once,
Mhm.
that just doesn't take you as far as doing it again and again and then developing those champions
Mhm.
locally.
Yes, yes, and thank you so much for your question. Um, yeah, I do believe that now with with the experience that was built locally, we gave tools for allowing some more events of this nature to take place within the regional sector. Um, I really would have liked for somebody from Mexico to be here, so because they know the whole situation, and I am as much. I'm from Mexico. I am like undergrad, master's, PhD. I did it there, but after PhD, I migrated to the UK. So the people who can tell you best are the ones that are working there. So I'll be happy to redirect your question and yeah, provide some feedback.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and I think we might have gained the. I'm sorry. Yeah, we might have gained the interest from many people there in Mexico. Like even the senior, the keynote speaker, even offered his research institute to do it next year, and we told him no because it has to be in somewhere else that is not Mexico. But it might be a good idea to discuss that.
Yeah, we did tell him that we needed to change, but he was open to welcome some other event. So yeah, that.
Okay, I think we can leave it here. I would like